Hello there. Hi, my name is Tashana. For those of you, some of you may know me as TShayMae. Others may also know me as Hero Henrietta. For those of you who used to originally follow my series with Adolescent Content, that particular series itself was of me more in accordance of either the full moons or new moons or zodiac seasons, pretty much just following like the zodiac calendar and giving readings by there. That was definitely something of me basically following a lot of events in the zodiac calendars and giving readings very occasionally, oftenly, periodically. And I'll say this particular second season is basically just going to be an extension of that, and instead of kind of mapping things out or planning things by full moons, by zodiac events, I pretty much am just trying to kind of just go with the flow and kind of just pull cards and just pull messages that just need to be heard. And I think that's something that's very important for me because I am very much in a transitional part of my life where some things don't go as planned, but am I actually planning things the way they need to? Like, have I planned enough, or did I, over-organize, or do I overcompensate to the point where, it just all ends up falling apart? And so with this series, I hope that it finds you if you definitely need to just like hear some messages from spirit. And spirit can be anybody, anything that you believe in. It doesn't just have to be God. It can be your ancestors, archangels, literally like anyone who's out there in the others who has either passed on or traditionally is a part of your family lines, your bloodlines, and pretty much people who are, watching over you and protecting you. Could also be Santa Claus for all I care, I really want to prioritize with this series is just, having this authenticity. Honestly, can say that like since 2015 I've been wanting to do YouTube, and I tried and I have. And I think, especially in the way that since I tried to do the YouTube thing back in 2015, and then what was it, like end of 2020 I tried to do it also. And the thing is about it is that it just gets to be, it becomes very overwhelming. It really does. It really does. And so this podcast isn't just about like me like trying to do on YouTube. This is also going to be on Spotify for those who are listening currently. And I'm really just wanting to do on those two particular social media platforms just to kind of see and in a way pace myself and start building a foundation and a consistency for myself slowly, and then kind of just free myself from any need of expectations that I want to happen. However, I'm going to hold myself from having that expectations and just worry, or not even worry, but I would say, for lack of a better term, just focus about what is that I want to do, what is it that I actually want to talk about, what is actually coming from like my heart, like what is truly in alignment with my mind, body, and soul, and how can that come out in a way in which, in this particular aspect of my life, in this particular field of my life that is spirituality, how can that come through and just reach out to others? I think that's something I feel as though I've kind of lost touch of. A lot of things I have posted in this YouTube channel, even from like the jump, are things in which a lot of them have been unscripted. For me, especially being a tarot reader, a spiritualist in that sense, somebody that is connected to her higher power and to the divine, you are given a message by spirit, or a series of messages by spirit, by either a particular topic or a question that is being asked, whether it's by the reader, whether it's the client asking the question. Like you're trying to get answers in real time for questions that have either been sitting with you for a long time, or maybe even questions you have just thought about in that moment. And I feel like it would kind of be a disservice for me to plan episodes out for a TEArot time, especially if it's supposed to be something that is very authentically and truthfully still a reading, but very much a conversation, and we just happen to do a reading in the middle of it. You know what I mean? That being said, I would like to shout out to a couple of YouTubers of mine that have been my favorites, some of which are colleagues and friends, and others whose content I just find very in line with my spirit. This is in no particular order. I want to shout out to Golden Lonnie. I also want to shout out to Evolving Spiritually. I want to shout out to Divine from POV, You're My Therapist. I want to shout out to Trinity, and I also want to shout out to Sid, the creator. And a common theme with a lot of these YouTubers that I just named is that they're all Black women. These are YouTubers that I have been inspired by, and not even just YouTubers, just creatives in general that I've been inspired by. And I just loved seeing the journey like they have been going through upon themselves, and just the growth they have literally got to do. And it's not just a growth, I would say it's even just it's really just a matter of how they handle and carry themselves, and how they come back like having do so much work on themselves. Like, these are people I look up to who continuously are doing the work and take well-deserved time off to go and do the work when they need to. And let me say this. It's not bad to ask for help, but it's also okay to try to move in silence and handle your shit in silence. Sorry, YouTube. So I think that's something that's very important for a lot of creatives to like understand and know. Like, you don't have to broadcast your struggles all the time. It's okay to say you need help. That is totally fine. Not a lot of people have that. I know it took me a long time to even do that myself. But even so, and even then, I think it's very important to very much, you know, appreciate the shadow work and appreciate what it took, or what that recovery road was, to come back to a place of healing, so you are no longer carrying whatever hurt, trauma, or things that are just holding you back. So all that being said, we're going to call this a prologue. And in this prologue, I am just going to go ahead and just pull one tarot card. And when I'm doing these readings for this podcast slash, like, you know, second season of, like, you know, this, like, series I've already had done, this is really just more like we're just checking the vibes. We're just checking the vibes, and it's a collective check of the vibes, if you know what I mean. So that is something that it's very important for me to very much execute and do with moving forward with how I want to do this series. So I am just going to grab my itty bitty tarot deck, my pocket-sized Rider's Waite, which was my first ever tarot deck that I ever, I would say physically had. My first deck that I ever actually bought was the Modern Witch tarot deck by Lisa Sturl, because I pre-ordered it when it had first came out. We're just going to pull a one-card reading as to, you know, like, we're just checking the vibes, and that's really just it. Tarot is just all about checking the vibes, and Spirit said, here's one. Alright, so we have the Seven of Pentacles, y'all. And in this picture, we have a person standing next to a bush. And this person is innocent, kind of like that old saying goes, watching the grass grow. And this person is not necessarily doing this out of boredom. This person's kind of, in a way, looking at the abundance that has already blossomed, that has already bloomed. And even so, this person is more than likely excited for more that's going to come from, like, this, because they know they worked their ass off. They worked hard for this opportunity. And what I like to do for a lot of my readings is, like, I always like to at least try to give a personal relation regarding, like, something that went on in my life. Not a lot of tarot readers do that, in a sense, because they are trying to separate themselves from the person receiving the reading. But I think, like, people, like, understanding and knowing, like, but you have this experience, you live, like, this human experience in this divine realm, in this lifetime, in this 3D, like, that's very important. And I think that's also very crucial when trying to help others receive a message. Among a lot of things, and mind you, I just also came out of my own dark night of the soul, my own shadow, like, period. Like, I literally just finished shadow work, and I didn't even, like, really realize, like, oh, I knew I was going back into shadow work, and I know that I was going to do it, but I hadn't even realized, like, oh, we just got out of it. We're done. Like, I've been telling people, I just got out of a depressive episode. And it's like, oh, it's not even just a depressive episode. I've just gotten done from a very intense shadow work period. And now I'm ready to reap the fruit of my labors. Now I'm ready to grow. Now I'm ready to prosper. Now I'm ready to plant seeds for them to grow into basically harvest, to feast, to indulge, to embrace them. Like this person, be proud of the work that I am doing. Be proud of the work that I have done. Not a lot of people get to sit with themselves or take a moment to just take all the things in. And I think with this 7 of Pence, I think that's very important. And I'm not going to just say this for me. I'm saying this for the collective. I think it's important that we do that. And it's funny, a friend of mine, we literally just had like a tea and tarot. And we just had like our little tea and tarot like we wish we can usually do. But this was the first we've done in the summer season. The first we've done since spring, since after the season turned over to spring. What has been very, very interesting is that one of them talked about how there was a TikTok of someone who did a baby shower, but it was an accomplishment shower for like themselves and their friends, for them to like, you know, be proud and to shower their own selves with love. Like, be proud of the work you just did. Let's take a moment and be proud. This is our fucking Academy Awards. This is our Emmys. This is our Golden Globes. This is our literally award season. We are allowed to sit back and relax and enjoy and indulge and just celebrate everyone's accomplishments. Celebrate the work we have done. Celebrate the accolades. The only difference is, listen, there ain't no nominations because everybody's a fucking winner. Because everybody that has accomplished something is winning already. And so I say this to you guys, and I say this to myself. Keep planting those seeds. And keep planning for the things that you want to happen, the things that you want to grow. Because girl, honey, sweetie, it's bound to happen. It is so bound to happen. And I think it's very crucial and important that we remember that and how important that was. And how important it is, really. So, thank you guys so, so, so much. I'm an Aquarius, so I'm not going to say I love you guys. I don't know you guys just yet to say that I love you. But I am going to send love and strength y'all's way in peace. And keep manifesting for abundance and prosperity and balance and all that and a sack of fruit snacks. Well, welcome back to Tea and Tarot Time with TShayMae. You can follow me on Instagram at Tarot Henrietta, and in the links of those bios you can also peep on my other social medias as well, because I have many accounts for many, many different reasons. I'm currently not giving readings right now for energy purposes. If I ever do give readings, you'll hear it directly from me through my social media posts. And I understand that, especially in the spiritual community, that there tends to be a lot of scammers and catfishers out there. So I would never really personally DM somebody to offer a reading. I really would just kind of say by happenstance through, you know, a story or a community board whenever I get to that point here on YouTube. So that being said, do not accept any readings for anybody that is really just not me, to be quite honest. Shit, the fuck. Honestly, it's so good to be back. So please enjoy this. We're gonna call it a prologue. We're also gonna go ahead and say the first episode / trailer of this episode of TEArot time with TShayMae. And I will see you next time in Dragon Ball SpiritualiTEA. Da 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 da.